Hey everyone, it's Lauren from Beautiful Mesh. How are you guys tonight after the long weekend? I want to show you a couple ways to attach things to a wreath. So let me get this all sorted out here. So I have a couple things on my table, which I know you can't see. I was trying to like do a close-up view so that you could see me and see what I'm working on and the table at the same time, but didn't work. So I'll definitely hold everything up so you can see. If I could change this, this would be great. Okay. All right, so I have a couple different options. So you guys tell me as we go along if there is something that you are trying to figure out how the heck to attach and you haven't figured it out yet. Let me know, because I had a couple of things here, but I want to make sure that I answer all the questions. Okay, hold on. Let me change this. I'm trying to change the post. Hold on. Okay. Facebook is going cuckoo lately. All right, this is one. Okay, ManyChat made an update. Okay. Okay, so first off, let's see. What do you guys struggle with like the most? Okay, I'll tell you. How about, all right, we won't start off with my number one trick first. We'll start off with like just a general thing. Okay, I'm gonna put this on Facebook so I can read. Hi everyone. Okay, so I was just doing a bunch of these today because I had a bunch of things to assemble from Black Friday. So I thought, you know what? I've been putting a lot of these together and you guys might have questions too on how to assemble these things. Okay. So here's an example of a sign that I have a lot of. And this is actually a box sign. So, you know, if you don't always have to buy flat signs, obviously. This is a box sign, and it's somewhat small for the center of a wreath. I usually try and go a little bit bigger, but it's okay. It works. So what I would do with something like this here's one tool you need to have in your arsenal, is an awl. Okay, and in case you don't know what an awl is, it's basically like an ice pick, right? It just like pokes things. Okay, so don't poke yourself, because I've totally jammed it into my hand before. Snowing like crazy. That's crazy. Okay. Oh, I forgot my hooks. Okay. Awl and hooks. Okay, this is what. And this is why this view is good, you guys, because you're going to get close up. Look. Okay? These are what you need to get. These little screw eyes, okay? Genius. Like, I use them all the time, okay? I couldn't tell you what size these are. I could tell you what size these are. Well, maybe let me flip the screen so that you can, I might help you. You could read the box here. Flip. Okay. Flip. Okay. So there's a box. That's the size. So it's like, they're called W212s, 3 3/4 by 15/16. You know, okay, I know y'all are going to laugh at me, but I work for like a fastener company and we sell stuff like this, and I don't even understand how this stuff works. So something's this dimension and something's that dimension. I don't know. Find something that looks like this, okay? Similar. All in a screw eye, okay? And with something this small, I would put all 4 corners, because if you just do 2 sides, your sign is going to go wobble wobble in the middle of a wreath. So I just take my awl and poke, if you can see. Try not to stab yourself. Poke a hole in the center. Not in the center, but in the corner. And screw a screw eye in. This is not easy. Sometimes you might have to get a drill to get it in. Well, this SKU, it's like from a manufacturer. So I mean, I used to get them at Lowe's and Home Depot. So you can get them there. And once it gets tight, I always stick this thing in here and just wind it. Okay? So that's what I would do with, it would be better, maybe, I mean, but I don't have a drill up here. I keep my awl up here, and when I need to attach signs, that's what I do. So I would do one in each corner. An awl is AWL, I believe. Isn't that how you spell it? Okay, so this one, yeah, I would do in all 4 corners, and that's what I would attach to the wreath. Now, once you've got this, you can stick wire. You could stick zip ties. Even these big long ones, these thick ones go through. You're going to need wire or zip ties or pipe cleaners. Those are your 3 best tools once you've got something in here to attach with, okay? So that's what I do on something like this, okay? Now, say I had something like this. Okay, so this is from Jane's Front Door Decor. You can order them with holes already punched in them, or you can order them without it from her shop. So in case you're not sure quite yet, like where you want to put this on your wreath, and you don't want to have the holes punched in yet. But let me, I have a link to the tool. Let me put it in here. But what I got is a hole punch tool. Ta-da-da! And if I could get on here, I would comment it. Come on, Facebook. So you can find it. I just got it off Amazon. Okay? There. I put the link in there for this tool. And all you need to do is literally put it on there where you want it. And whoop, whoop. Like, it's super easy. It doesn't even take any force, hardly. Okay? Sometimes and it leaves this teeny tiny little hole. And with that, okay, good, it works. Okay. With that, you can even put a pipe cleaner through there, because just the furry sometimes, maybe not on this one, not this time. But sometimes, depending on how big your pipe cleaners are, you can stick a pipe cleaner in there, or you can put wire, okay? So just a little punch tool. How much was it on Amazon? I'll tell you. This one was $11 on Amazon. You might be able to, I'm not sure like what the going rate is. You probably can find them at Michael's and stuff too. But easy peasy, you can punch holes everywhere you want on something like this, okay? Then, if you have something like this, or something stuffed, or something fabric, anything like figures and stuff like that. This is from my friend Judy at Judy B's Creations. And I don't know why it's blurry. That's crazy. That's annoying. I'm sorry. Hopefully it'll fix itself. The easiest way to do something like this, I find, is to cut 2 holes with scissors. I would cut, like, just in the felt, I would just, if I could get, it's hard to do things backwards on the screen. I wish I could, oh, there we go, okay. And then I would take the pipe cleaner, and I would just go through one hole and out the other hole. Let me see if I can get that. Okay, yeah. Would have helped maybe if I used a different color, but see? And you can do this if you've got stuffed animals, if you've got any kind of like little figures that might have like a sand bottom or a rock bottom or something like that. I do that a lot. I just make 2 little holes and put a pipe cleaner or wire or something, and then you can go ahead and attach that. That's pretty easy, right? And then let's say you have something like this. Yes, check out Judy B's Creations. She has that's what she sent that to me. Okay, so then if you got something like this, which comes with a hanger, I do sometimes take this and wrap this in the tie and let it hang from one of the ties, or cut this in half. Whether this is, sometimes you might get, especially if it's wire. If I get something like this and it's wire, I'll cut it in half and I'll use that to attach to the wreath. So either this, or you can use the, you know, if it had a hanger that was made of wire, use that and wrap it around the wreath form. Or I'll show you what else you can put hooks on something like this. So this is MDF. You can, I did not even get out my staple gun because I don't even use my staple gun. I have one, but it's loud and it scares me and I'm afraid I'm going to staple my finger or something. So I don't use it very often. Honestly, I really don't. And the few times that I have used it, like my staples went through to the other side of whatever it was I was trying to staple. Because apparently I bought the wrong size staples or my sign was too thin. So I'm scared to use it. So I have another alternative for attaching that I will show you. So like, especially for something like this. Have you guys seen these signs? Ooh, they are, I don't even know what this is made of. I'm not sure what this is. This like flexible, foamy sort of stuff. So you probably don't want to put staples in this because it's going to go through. It's pretty thin. I don't like using those cable tie mounts because they pop off, and so I don't use those at all. I'm not even in my arsenal here. So what I do use is epoxy. Okay, you can get this at I've seen it at Hobby Lobby now. You can probably get it in hardware stores. Check like Walmart, check things like that. Or you might just have to order it on Amazon or something. But this glue is the best glue ever. Like if you have something, I mean, we've used it to glue like mugs that have fallen apart in our house and you know, you just need to put it back together, epoxy. Anything that breaks in my house, epoxy. It's like our super glue. It's epoxy, okay? So it's epoxy is it's two materials. Don't ask me what they are, but they're two materials, and when they combine, they like chemical reactions, science, whatever. You can tell I'm not into all that. And it creates like the super strongest glue, okay? So I just glue, I know you can't see this part, I'll show you, but I'm just gonna squirt out like a little bit on my tray. It's kind of messy, and mix it together. Hold on. Mix. I mean, I don't even know how long you're supposed to mix it for. Like, I mix it for like 10 seconds because my patience is very thin. It does smell a little bit, but it works really well, and it dries really fast. So you guys, you can, I will show you also some other glues you can use, but this stuff dries really, really fast. Okay, and what I also get is I just get a huge box of sawtooth hangers. Can you see those? And because, you know, it's raised up a little bit, you can't really see that. So it's raised up a little bit when it sits on a sign. And so you can slip a wire or pipe cleaner or whatever behind it, but you still have spots to glue down. So I'll show you, let me put the glue on it and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay. So just like that. And all you got to glue is, you know, top and bottom here. And I mean, seriously, if you don't know how to attach a sign, get some epoxy. See that now? You see how it's raised up? So you can slip pipe cleaner, wires, zip ties, anything into that. I have never had this pop off of anything that I've used ever. So my suggestion would be to use this epoxy. Now I have to glue the other side on, or else this stuff. Now it does dry pretty fast. So if you're gonna be making, you know, like gluing a bunch of signs at once, like work quick, because your little spot will dry in your tray. Okay, so 1, 2, and that's how I would attach this one. And then, hey Katie, did you guys watch Katie last night on my page? Katie was so nice to do that. Okay, here's another glue, you guys, in your arsenal. The front of the glue, oh, this is just epoxy. It might look different on everybody's, depending on what brand, but it's epoxy, and you'll notice it because it's two tubes, and when combined together they produce that chemical reaction. Well, you didn't have to see that part. It was just the gluing part, Michelle. Okay. This is E6000. This is a good glue. It's a lot stronger than hot glue, but it takes forever, ever to drive. So to drive, did I say drive? Dry. But in a pinch, it'll work. But I have it. I just don't use it much anymore because I use the epoxy now all the time. So, and then for most everything else, I'll use hot glue. If I'm attaching like my little Santa shells, I'll just use hot glue on these for the most part. I mean, I just warn people in the listings that things might be attached with hot glue, and if you know that, just to know that don't put it in direct sun, because it might things might fall off. But I've never had that happen, but I've heard it happen, so I just say as a precaution. So get you some zip ties, get you some 4-inch, some 6-inch, and I have for the longer ones, what is this one? 11-inch. You can get them in cream, you can get them in, I get them in brown and green for when you're doing grapevine wreaths. That's really helpful, but these I use all the time for attaching signs and everything else. Wire. And something else we really didn't talk about a whole lot because I don't have anything here that I need this for, but these wooden dowels are really good for any kind of floral arrangements, grapevines, things like that. Anything you need, these are really good if you have like a foam, styrofoam like pumpkin or something, or anything that you can like shove it up and, you know, put some glue on it and put the other side into the wreath. The warning on the package for E6000. Oh, okay. Yeah, that stuff does stink, so I'm not surprised. I'll come down in just a minute. I'll be down in just a minute. Okay, give me just 2 minutes. So let's see. I think that's all I have here. Do you guys have any questions on anything that you guys like can't figure out how to attach and you want help? Because I think I've probably by now attached almost everything. I'm trying to look around my shop to see what else I have that I don't have any other methods. And I will also, you know, even on the little stuff, like, I mean, even on little scroll letters, let me see if I have something. Even on something like this, which is from Hot Mesh Mom, you can get those little sawtooth hangers on the back of here. So, hold on, let me open this box. Okay. Because you can get, I mean, you can even get these on here, see? So you get the little small ones. Don't get the really, really long ones. Get the kind of smallish ones and see, you won't even see that from the back. Once you glue that on, see? You won't even see it. So, yeah, you can almost always find a spot. Yeah, see, and I can put it on the E over here and you will never even know. So these things work really good on, even on like skinny stuff. Resin, if it's like really, really heavy, you might want to think twice about putting it in a wreath, but, you know, I would go to epoxy because, I mean, like I said, we use those on like our coffee mugs and anything that breaks in our house, like we use that. What was the other question? Where's the best place to buy zip ties? What is it? I think it's Cable Ties and More. Cable Ties and More. I think that's the website. Let me double check. I think that's where I got these. Yes, cabletiesandmore.com. So that's the website where I get a lot of zip ties. I was getting them somewhere else, but Khalid told me about that place, and they have the best prices I found. And like seriously, I work in a place that sells these kinds of things, and that they're cheaper than we could get them wholesale from anywhere. So that's a really good deal. Because I was considering like buying them and selling them in my shop, but you guys can buy them just as cheap from them. And they have different colors, so I would buy the different colors. Harbor Freight has good, yeah, I don't know, do they have the colors at Harbor Freight? Because I know like the cable ties in More Place has colors, which is nice. But if you need somewhere local, if you have a Harbor Freight you want to run into. Hi, Connie. Oh, okay, attached with zip ties. Yeah, I would say with that one, try something like epoxy or super glue or something if you can't find. I haven't used super glue on everything. I pretty much use epoxy, and I think that's kind of the same deal. White and black is what Harbor Freight has. Okay, so if you need just white and black, and if you have a Harbor Freight, or you can they do online? If not, try the cable ties in More Place and order. And I did ask them, they don't have a wholesale, so, or they do, but it's only if you buy like $1,500 worth or something, like some really extremely high count. Anyone can buy there. Yeah, to get a discount, it's like super, super high. So it's, but to get the prices that I paid, anybody can pay them. Harbor Freight, same way. It's just you have to have one near you or order them online. So, I think that's all the methods I have, you guys, for attaching stuff. So, get that hole punch if you ever have any metal signs from Jane, or I've gotten some from Amazon before, and sometimes they need a little punch, and zip ties, wire, and pipe cleaners are my go-tos for once I've got the attachments on, you know, to that way to attach to the wreath. So you kind of need a little bit of everything depending on what you've got, what color you're working with. Like if you're working with something where you aren't going to see it, or if you need something like a pipe cleaner to blend, or if you need something really thin like wire. I mean, I've got wire in every different color. I've got white, I've got silver, I've got green, I've got copper, I've got gold. You can find this at Michael's. I don't even know what gauge it is because I think I tore off the sticker, but I think, what is this one? Oh, they're just, you know, just these normal paddle wires. So yeah, in every color. Yeah, I think that was it. I mean, it's just a little quickie. I don't even know how long I've been on. Oh, 22 minutes. Okay. Any other question on something you tried to attach recently and don't know how to attach it? Any other question? Other idea I can probably help with? Then other than that, I have my glue gun, I have my glue pot, and then I have my Steel Picks machine, but I don't use it that often. Could you epoxy sawtooth hangers to the back of chain signs? I'm pretty sure you could, but I think it would probably be easier and quicker just to punch a hole in them, or have her punch the hole in them, just because it's tiny. And then you don't have to break out the epoxy and glue it, blah, blah, blah. But I have glued, I mean, epoxy will glue onto pretty much everything. I don't think there's anything I've found that it hasn't glued to. Like my daughter had something that was porcelain and it broke, and I used epoxy to fix that. Like I said, our mugs, we've used that. I've done it on wood. I've done it on MDF. I've done it on, yeah, I think that's about it. What's the best size to bind zip ties? I buy 4, 6, and 11 inches is usually the ones that I buy. The ones I use most often, I don't know, it just all depends. If you're real close, the 4 inches work, but 4 inches probably doesn't work in most instances because it is pretty short. I mean, once you know, by the time you wind it around anything, you really don't have a whole lot left, you know, so 4 inches only works if you're right up against the frame. So probably 6 inches. What's on sale at Michael's today? What did I miss? Oh, the nativity thing. People are making a lot of those nativity wreaths. That's a popular thing this year. Pipe cleaners, I just pick up wherever I am. I'm not real picky on pipe cleaners. Like, I'll pick them up at dollar store if I have to. I'll pick them up at Michael's. I'll pick them up at Hobby Lobby, Craft Outlet. I mean, anywhere I am and I see a pipe cleaner, I don't have a whole lot of problems with them like breaking or whatever. So to me, a pipe cleaner is a pipe cleaner. I'll pick it up wherever I got. Oh, wire is on sale. Oh, okay. All right, guys. Well, if you have any other questions of how to attach things, let me know, because I think I have hopefully figured out by now how to attach most things. I'm thinking. You know, when you have like metal signs and you don't know how to attach things like thicker metal that you can't punch through, epoxy. Epoxy is sawtooth hanger to that bugger. Okay. Well, thank you guys for hanging out and this nice little short live. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving and a great long weekend. Hopefully you didn't have to work too hard. And we are ready for Monday, you guys. All right. I will see you again. Bye.